auspicious occasion, we gather to extend our warm welcome to our visionary leader, Mr. Abhijit Sarkar, the CEO of IntelBuild. I, Dr. Sarkar, and my colleague Anna Nagwa would like to safely welcome our honored director and founder of Megas Architectural Services, Mr. Rizwan Nagwa. Our CEO, Mr. Dr. Abhijit Sarkar. Our PR Director, Ms. Gauri Kumnani.
Thank you.
Mr. Hudayfa Nagwa, Director of IntelBuild Engineering Services. Mr. Abdul Nadeep Nagwa, Purchase Director at Megas Architectural Services.
Thank you.
Mr. Ruby Parihar, Project Director. Mr. Sanjay Mishra, Head Accountant. Ms. Pratibha Patel, Studio Head and Senior Designer. Mr. Rehan Khan, Principal Architect at Megas Architectural. Before we delve into the festive of today, let us take a moment to share glimpse into the essence of Megas Group of Company. For everyone unaware of Megas Group, include our very own architectural design and construction unit, Megas Architectural Services Private Limited, our engineering unit, IntelBuild Engineering Services, and our in-house furniture manufacturing unit, Green Modes. That being said, we are not just architects, engineers and designers, we are the creator of tomorrow's space, weaving the energy of the present with the wisdom of past. Megas, we believe in crafting a space that go beyond the conventional design and sustainability, site harmony, user comfort and Vastu principle as our guiding compass. Our work is marriage of tradition and modernity, where we bridge gap between the timeless and contemporary, creating environment that stand resilient over time with pulsating with the vitality of modern world. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Anna Nagwa to continue.
Today we are honored to have with us a leader who embodies the spirit of innovation and principles that we stand at Megas. Dr. Abhijit Sarkar is an MBA in HR and a doctorate in management studies. He's also a certified Six Sigma Black Belt and Green Belted professional. Dr. Sarkar is recognized for his expertise in administration, procurement and infrastructure. He's a sought-after speaker honored by ICICI Bank and actively contributes to industry associations. His leadership is acknowledged in magazines like Commercial Design, and he's committed to knowledge sharing through articles and educational initiatives. In summary, Dr. Sarkar is a multifaceted professional making significant contributions to the industry, and we believe his guidance and experience will help steer Megas Group of companies to new heights of success. We are truly privileged to have him guide us into a future where energy, innovation and traditional beautifully collide. We'd now like to invite him to address the crowd.
So I may speak a little bit more because when I come to a dais, I definitely forget, I'm in my own world. Anyway, good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So before we move into the organization vision and mission, I would like to tell something about myself. In terms of education and all, Anna has almost covered everything. Although I have 10 more certifications, which I did share with her because otherwise it becomes a very prolonged introduction. I started my career with a transport and a shipping company. After doing an MBA, I was working in an HR department. I did my MBA in HR and parallelly I was studying my LLB as well. So over a period of time, when my director saw, I'm doing LLB and at the same time I'm managing HR, he observed that, Abhijit, you are a multitasking guy. Why are you confining yourself to only HR? I would want you to do even something in law, and why don't you handle the legal affairs of the company? And that's how he engaged me in a legal department, and apparently he also gave me to handle multi-activity related to insurance. I could remember one case wherein the organization vehicle we used to carry bulk cargo across the country was caught in Karnataka border, and he told me, Abhijit, I want you as a legal guy to go and file an appeal and you release the vehicle. I said, but I am totally raw. I am just studying law and I have never appeared before any authority. He said, no, I trust you. And apparently you go and irrespective you fail, I have a remedy to go and appeal. But I want to see your caliber and I know that you will succeed. I prepared the appeal. I appeared before the local registered transport authority and I could get the order of removal of vehicle in 24 hours. So what I am trying to say, when you work in an organization, you require a mentorship, and one of my objectives here is to be a good mentor. Unless your mentor invokes the quality in you, you are not aware of what you are. We can relate ourselves to Ramayana when it was decided that who will go to Lanka and do a Reiki. What we do today, doing a site inspection and Reiki. At that time it was decided that before Rama could attack Lanka, somebody should go and inspect the site. Who will do that? Nobody had that caliber. At that time, Sugriv became a mentor and he told Hanuman that you have that caliber and it's only you can go. So your mentor is responsible for invoking the qualities on you and transforming into a new level, and that is what the culture we are going to inculcate here. Subsequently, over a period of time, I got an opportunity. I started my journey in corporate world. I did my law, I did my other qualification. There came a time that I got an offer from a Bombay time of an head of HR, head of admin, and also there was an offer from another corporate, but it was just managing administration. But when I wanted to explore that opportunity, I was told, Abhijit, you don't join Bombay time because it's the worst company. Since you will be reporting to Nes Wadia, he is the worst person to deal with. But for me, the objective was, head of admin was the target I was looking for. And I said, no, irrespective whatever Nes Wadia is, but I wanted to achieve that position. And somewhere or other, I have to come out of my comfort zone. I don't want to look at my security. I want to look at my growth. The moment I achieve my target of head of admin, definitely I will have my position established in the organization. I joined Bombay time and the average life of admin head of Bombay time was 3 months. I stayed there for 3 years and when I resigned, Nes Wadia told my resignation and he said, Abhijit, I am not going to leave you. In fact, I will call up the other company and ensure that you are not joining there. So in these 3 years, I learned a lot from Nes Wadia. But at the end of the day, since I gave up my comfort and took a risk of joining Bombay time, in spite of the fact that people were resisting that, I concluded that I become a head of admin, and when I became a head of admin, that was my pathway. I never looked back. After that, I became head of admin, I became head of admin procurement, then I became head of admin real estate procurement and travel. So my journey of head continued. My last assignment was with Sherkar. So I worked there for 12 years. One thing, coming out of Sherkar was also a decision of coming out of a comfort zone. But at the same time, when I joined Sherkar, the organization had a very different culture. I come from a total corporate background, working in organizations like ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, and Sherkar was a very typically, entrepreneurial organization. There, every employee used to think they are the owner of the company. So transforming myself, into a change management was very important. So in your life, when you encounter a situation, you also have to change yourself. I changed myself. I gained that confidence. And in 12 years, people know Sher Khan because of Abhijit Sarkar. Abhijit Sarkar is not known because of Sher Khan. That is the brand I created for myself. that's all about my journey, and when I have to talk about megas, the reason I was appointed is only of the fact that organization is looking for major transformation. Now, if I have to tell you the role of CEO, CEO is not only a person responsible for the sales, he is responsible for managing the entire organization. He is responsible for managing the entire affairs of organization, whether it is sales, whether it is marketing, whether it is brand building, whether it is legal, compliance, internal communication, external communication, HR, admin, finance, everything. So I am responsible for everything and end-to-end management of it. And the objective of coming here is to ensure that we make Megas as one of the major corporate hubs across the country. And together we will definitely do it. And the whole objective of having a CEO is to create a vision for all the employees. And over a period of time, we will work in more structured way. First thing is, we need to work with the targets in mind. We cannot work in a very haywire way. So every of the employee, there are people who are reporting to Rizwan, will parallelly report to me. And we are bringing an HR head in place who will be responsible for managing the efficiency of those employees. And at the end of the day, each employee will be evaluated by their performance based on my and Rizwan's feedback and the HR intervention. And their growth will completely depend on what they have delivered, what is being committed against what have been they achieved. That is something will be evaluated. Based on that, their growth prospect will depend. So they will be personally responsible to drive their own growth. Organization is going to stand with them, give them an opportunity, but at the end of the day, they need to honor their commitment. We will be a very process-driven organization, and one thing we need to understand that when the organization grows, there are certain foundations which we all need to inculcate within us, and those things are like having a strong ethos, discipline, integrity, commitment, team building. These are something which should be our habits. We should practice it. We should not preach it. We should demonstrate it. And this all will be captured by a detailed HR practice. As I have spoken to many of you and I have told you to come out with your KRA. And as a process, we will evaluate your performance every quarter, and in case we find there are certain snags, we will support you to overcome them to ensure that you achieve the milestone which the organization is looking for. And I will tell you, this year we are targeting around 70 to 80 crores by December end. And the first quarter, that is on March 2024, I have committed the board that I will get a revenue of 30 crores. And we all are responsible for it. One more thing, we have to speak the language of dashboard. I don't want to create a culture wherein we inform through a WhatsApp or a phone that this is what my activity is. No, it will be now more process and protocol driven. It will be more a hierarchy driven organization. If at all any information has to go to board, it has to go in a proper format. And over a period of time, in the next 15 days, we will create all the dashboard format, and every weekly, monthly, quarterly, there will be a report which I will be sending to the board based on the commitment what we have given. Each of you will come out with your KRA and commitment, which I will present it to the board, and after 3 months we are going to review how strong we stood to of those commitments. What we want to see Megas as a global organization. Any employee joining Megas should say, hey, after 2 years, my husband is getting transferred to Canada. Can I opt for mobility because Megas is present in Canada? That's the level of commitment we are looking for. And I am confident with our expertise, with our talent, with our potential, we can take Megas into that level. What I need is your support, and I am always there with you. Call me anytime, I am with you. That's all from me.
Thank you both for your wise words, sir. We are truly enlightened. We now like to invite Mr. Rizwan Nakwa, Dr. Abhijit Sarkar, Ms. Gauri Kundani, and Mr. Josefa Nakwa to have a panel discussion so we can have an insight on a few topics.
Contribute to the current development and modernization of the country.
Whom you want to answer?
I would like you all to have a discussion on the topic so that I can know more about the topic.
So you want it to be a joint answer, or it
Yeah,
should be like a
joint
five-minute
discussion.
discussion?
Or if you want to initiate and then we may have a discussion on this.
Okay, then I will start with my view.
Yeah.
As an occupier, when I look at the modern architecture, I look at creativity, because we are not associated with built environment. We stay at home, it's a structure. We stay at office, it's a structure. Unless the structure is live and happening, definitely the efficiency and the productivity of a person is always killed. And eventually when I look at a person who is coming to office, I would like to see it very bypassed. And modern architecture is not only about the design, it is also about well-being of an employee or well-being of a person. And how are you, when you design something, whether it is exterior or interior, what kind of value addition you are doing for the community or the mother. That is what I would do. You can feel definitely one aspect, but sustainability becomes another aspect. And again, many times we build a building, but then minus things are being not taken care of, basically the indoor air quality and so on and so forth. And that becomes a health hazard for many. And this kind of aspect like indoor air quality and all is not a new thing. 1975 World Health Organization have raised the concern that thick building syndrome is a common problem, and unless you look into indoor air quality, definitely you will not be able to overcome it. It took at least 20 odd years for everybody to come out with a solution and technology to tackle this indoor air quality, but still people are lacking because many of the architects are still not in a position to give a proper guidance to their client, when they develop an office, what should be the mechanism to have a proper indoor air.
Could you elaborate more on the syndrome that you spoke about?
See, thick building syndrome in the sense, if you don't have proper ventilation, if you're sitting in an office wherein there are 100 people, if at all, the CO2 level, if at all it is circulating in the office, if it doesn't have, proper intake of oxygen and outtake of, CO2, definitely you are going to get sick. So unless there is a proper ventilation and there is a proper air circulation, people are not aware. Unless once you start saying and understanding why people are falling sick, then it was understood that the air ventilation and the circulation is a problem. Today you have a technology, you have IoT to understand that what is after COVID, every employee come and tell show air quality level. That's the level of understanding everybody has. So as an architect, we expect that we should be one step ahead and we should mandate this to a corporate that it won't require a big spend, but you should do it because this will enhance your productivity and gain morale of your employees.
So what I look is a little different from what he's talking about. I think it is more of we going back to the basics. So me and Josefa is continuously been discussing about this. It is not that we don't have it as Indians. I mean, थोड़ा सा off the track होते हुए बोलूँ कि हम Indians के पास technology बेहतर है. You go to these forts, you go to these all heritage structures. So these are all being prepared with all the green stuff, right? And innovation, in a way, is actually, I personally think, innovation is actually a deterrent. We don't need to have new things. We need to do things correctly. We have colors, we have flags, and lot many things are coming in green. What was it 100 years back? It was all about green only. Before the Industrial Revolution, it was all about green only. Steel came into existence 200 years back. उसके बाद ही ये सब कुछ next level innovation में चला गया. So my take is very simple: stick to the basics, understand the culture of a country. If you want to develop and innovate things, so ideally we need to understand what is the basic requirement of a human. There's nothing more to it. What is innovation? It's a comfort. Why do you buy a big car, a better car? It's a comfort. Travel distance वही रहेगा, बदले जितने better वो भी वही रहेंगे. Innovation is about that comfort, and we have disrupted that comfort by saying we are innovating. Like he rightly said, who's checking what's the oxygen level in your house? But when we go dig deep, we realize कि ये तो पहले से ही है हमारे कल्चर में. Wherever ceiling fans है, लाइटें कहाँ हैं? कैसे एयर कंडीशन चलते थे? एयर कंडीशन तो थी. But these all things are there. We just need to focus and actually become innovative. Not just looking at the world, we just say you talk about a developed country. They are emitting the maximum amount of carbon. What the hell? They are not the developed countries. They are actually the killers. जैसे वर्ल्ड की सबसे डेवलप्ड कंट्री इज अमेरिका, राइट? उनका पर पर्सन कार्बन एमिशन इज 200 times what India is. So we as Indians, we actually have the chance to deliver it to the world. मतलब actually superpower बन सकते innovation के साथ. And by saying not only in terms of development, not only in terms of adding value, it's also about the culture. Every sixth person on the face of earth is an Indian. So what we can do in getting the society up, lifting the standards of human living is something which is going to be unique. It's never happened in the world. इससे पहले आबादी, जवान आबादी चाइना के पास थी, उससे पहले यूरोप के पास थी, उससे पहले अमेरिका के पास थी. अब जिसके पास है ना, वो ट्रेडिशनली चीजें जानता है, उसको कलर पता है. Look at our religious festivals. It's so colorful. There's so many things that are inherited. यानी हमको कुछ करना नहीं है उसमें. Nothing much. So as architects, as designers, as engineers, we should think about how to make things minimalistic and not damaging the reality. By saying कि हम innovate कर रहे हैं, हम आग लगा रहे हैं. हम एक कमरे में बैठे रहे, what he said is so true. इस कमरे का ऑक्सीजन लेवल डाउन होगा तो सबसे पहले we start getting irritated. We start reacting on things which is not even required. We don't even realize. We are staying in those matchbox houses. So there's something that Josefa has just done, I think 2 years back, Josefa, जो अपने आप में घर बनाया जिसमें एयर कंडीशन को आपने एक अलग लेवल से किया. तो these are things which are there. Why are we not implementing it? So as a team, as a group, it's our job to make sure कि innovation को innovation ही बनाओ. New नहीं है, पुराना है, लेकिन comfort zone में एकदम premium हो गया.
I think what we're used to now as a country is following the West.
Exactly.
Forgetting the fact that everything the West is doing is actually born out of our own country. So you look at anything, look at Ayurveda, look at yoga, look at anything. Today we only believe in following the West. If you take time and literally think about what the country is capable of and what we have literally given birth to is way superior than what the world has to offer.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, these people are talking about physical health, but I've been a salesperson throughout. So I focus more on the mental well-being and the behavior. So I think to answer your question, modern interior design and architecture, flexibility and being dynamic is something that I feel now we actually needed COVID to let people know that an office should be dynamic, it should be flexible, it should take care of mental health as well as, I mean, of course, physical well-being, we've covered it in terms of sustainability and quality, but mental well-being is a subject that I feel somehow people shy away from talking, whether it is house or office, anywhere. Abhijit will agree since he's also partly been doing HR, but I think, yeah, that's really important, which reflects in an office. Like, to give you an example, if you go to these 100-year-old offices, जो government offices पहले होते थे, have you seen their body language? Have you seen their fitness? Have you seen the way they dress? Have you seen how given up they are in their body language itself? Like, you see people just during working hours sitting and doing nothing. So literally their output efficiency is at an extreme low because the environment is not conducive to being happy working there. So what I would focus on is a modern office being flexible, giving people spaces that give them joy, whether it is again introducing any kind of furniture or maybe an environment or whatever. Like, there are offices now that have introduced creche for working women because they don't want to let go of their talent. You want them to weekly or whatever, give them that comfort to bring their children, be taken care of. So many such initiatives have been taken care of recently. Like I said, that an office environment is what truly brings up the efficiency
So I
of
think
the
it is
person.
time for us to understand that architecture and interior has to work hand in hand with engineering.
Yeah.
If you don't allow the engineers to flourish, things will happen the way it is happening. We'll follow the prototypes and we'll do the same odd thing and it will never change. So I think, Josephine, you need to add a little more value to how engineering can add value to these interiors and office spaces and homes. What is that green that you can add?
Basically, we studied science during our childhood days. तो हमने ये सोचा कि हमने साइंस पढ़ा, वो साइंस के लिए, साइंस वाले के लिए ही है, ठीक है। जब हम 11th-12th में आते हैं, हम अपना स्ट्रीम डिसाइड कर लेते हैं, तो उसके बाद हम सोचते हैं कि आई एम आर्किटेक्ट एंड मुझे सिर्फ डिज़ाइनिंग एंड प्लानिंग के बारे में सोचना चाहिए। बट बीइंग एन आर्किटेक्ट, बीइंग एन इंजीनियर, हमको हर एक को अपनी फील्ड को साइंस एंड R&D से रिलेट करना चाहिए। एंड वी लिव इन इंडिया इज़ अ कंट्री विच यूज्ड टू से कि इट्स अ गोल्डन स्पैरो, ठीक है। तो ये क्यों कहा जाता था? क्योंकि हमारे पास वो मटेरियल है। आज भी स्टील गल्फ में नहीं है जहाँ पर वर्ल्ड की 70% हाइड्रोजन है। स्टील गल्फ में नहीं निकलता, स्टील हमारे यहाँ निकलता है, स्टील चाइना में निकलता है। बट हम अगर मैं किसी को पूछूं स्टील की प्रॉपर्टीज क्या है, तो हमको मालूम ही नहीं है। स्टील की डेंसिटी में इंजीनियरिंग किए हुए बंदों को जब इंटरव्यू में पूछता हूँ कि स्टील की डेंसिटी क्या, उनको नहीं मालूम है। आरसीसी रेनफोर्स कंक्रीट स्ट्रक्चर कैसे बनता है, क्या डेंसिटी, क्या प्रॉपर्टीज है, क्या प्रोज एंड कॉन्स है। अब जैसे सैंड बैंड हो चुका है, इंडियन मार्केट में सैंड बैंड हो चुका है, अब रिवर सैंड की जगह क्रश सैंड यूज हो रहा है, ठीक है। तो सैंड क्यों बैंड हुआ? क्योंकि वो रिवर से निकाला जा रहा है और रिवर खत्म होती जा रही है, ठीक है। तो ये सारी चीजें पॉजिटिविटी एंड नेगेटिविटी ऑफ मटेरियल और मटेरियल यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ बेस्ट मटेरियल and properties of those material which is highly sustainable and which is very relevant to human nature, which is very relevant to human body, human psychology, human mentality, वो अगर हम यूज करेंगे तो हम बहुत इजीली बहुत सारी चीजें अचीव कर सकते हैं। R&D के अंदर लोग डिजाइन करते हैं और अवार्ड लेते हैं। क्या डिजाइन किया? तो रिफ्यूजी कैंप्स डिजाइन किया, जो कि मतलब आज हम बिल्डिंग डिजाइन करेंगे तो 1500 रुपीज पर स्क्वायर फीट हम रेट कोट करेंगे, उसमें 500 रुपीज में डिजाइन करके बिल्ड करके दे दिया। तो लोगों की ये रिक्वायरमेंट है। हमारे इंडिया में कई इलाके ऐसे जहाँ टॉयलेट्स ही नहीं है, हमने खुद टॉयलेट का 3D मॉडल बनाया, ठीक है। तो टॉयलेट पर हम करोड़ों रुपए कमा सकते हैं अगर हमने ऐसा टॉयलेट बनाकर दे दिया जो कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलप्ड है, जिसमें कोई सर्विस की और ऐसे कोई मटेरियल की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है जो आगे खराब हो जाए या टूट जाए, अगर हमने दिमाग लगाया उसके अंदर। तो इंडियन आर्किटेक्ट और इंडियन आर्किटेक्ट्स के लिए, इंडियन डिजाइनर्स के लिए ये काम बहुत ईजी है, क्योंकि हमारे पास इतने सारे मटेरियल है जो कि हम यूज करके इस तरीके की चीज़ों को। बट ये है कि साइंस को मालूम करना ज़रूरी है, बायोलॉजी को मालूम करना ज़रूरी है। तो ऐसा नहीं कि आर्किटेक्ट है तो मेरा तो फील्ड ही नहीं है, स्ट्रीम ही नहीं है, मैं वो क्यों देखूँ, ये क्यों सोचूं। बल्कि हम सब R&D में इन्वॉल्व है। मतलब जैसे हमारे डिटेलर ड्राफ्ट्समैन है, ये भी एक R&D में लगे हुए, आर्किटेक्ट से ये भी एक R&D में। तो एवरीवन इज द पार्ट ऑफ सोसाइटी। सो फर्स्ट वी नीड टू थिंक बीइंग अ सोसाइटी मेंबर कि हम सोसाइटी के लिए क्या बेहतर कर सकते हैं।
So our next question is related to social media. How can the architectural and engineering community leverage social media platform to engage with the public and foster a great understanding of the world?
I think, yeah, like he said, that the base of it is research, right? And the knowledge of what trends or products or getting to know what's happening across the globe has only been possible because of social media. So that's one positive that I see in social media. But yeah, on the flip side, it has a lot of fakeness, which I would not want to go into. But yeah, for learning, I think it's a very good platform. I mean, I've been using it very recently with our team here. Is people are posting products from across the world, which we've not been aware of. Ideally, if we actually remove time to sit and study and research, like he rightly said, people have become so busy that we've only been implementing what we studied in school. But the world is evolving every day. I don't think that we're updating ourselves with knowledge, and I think social media is a blessing in that case. That when you have to update your knowledge on what's happening across the world, otherwise you kind trying to be better.
And you get connected to the loop so easily. अभी हम लोगों का एक बहुत बड़ा problem भी है कि we all know everything. Everybody knows Insta, everybody knows Facebook, everybody knows blah 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 blah. Every day there is a new app coming in. That we know, सबको पता है. मतलब the last man standing and the first man standing. Everybody is saying. The problem with us is we're not willing to accept it in our lives. Like you go to China, you see people. Reels are the place where they do billions of dollars of business. Billion. I'm not talking about million. So most of us we don't really know what is a billion because हमको Indian है ना, हमको गरीब रहना है. But हमको दिखना best की तरह है. So I think this medium is something that we all need to get interactive. That's what Abhijit is pushing about. Okay, everybody should learn the art of facing the camera, and that's the big thing going to be happening in next 10, 15, 20 years, maybe 100 years later. Everybody will be a person who is vocal and he's ready to face the world. How many of us are willing to sit here and talk? अभी बात तो सबको करना आता है, किसको नहीं आता? I mean, anybody. किसी को भी उठा के बात कर ही सकता है. Why is he not able to face the camera? Why is he not able to face the crowd? This is something that needs to be addressed really seriously and immediate action, especially for our association. I think it is the requirement of the hour, not in terms of entertainment. It is purely not entertainment. It is bullshit and crap in terms of entertainment. We have many sources of other entertainments. ये जो medium है, this medium should allow us to connect with the world. It's such a brilliant tool, brilliant. I mean, the way he presented himself, why can't everybody present himself like that? What is the way to articulate yourself? That's the easiest and the simplest thing that a human being has to achieve, right? आप दुनिया भर बाद में करोगे, मैं पहले अपने आप को जानता हूँ और मुझे अपने आप से हैंडल करने नहीं आ रहा कि मेरा हाथ कहाँ है, मेरा मुंह कहाँ है, मेरी आँख कहाँ है. That's not what the media, this digital medium, this forum allows each one of us to come explore. Let's fumble. Let's do mistakes. गलती होने दो, wrong things होने दो. But instead of getting into that trap of Insta reels पे आपको कोई motivate कर रहा है, boss you yourself a motivational guy. आपको इंसान इसलिए बना गया है क्योंकि आप खुद अपने आप को self motivate कर सकते. So this medium, I think, will stand the most important part of any business. I think Abhijit, like we were discussing yesterday, please put some rules on that. How does that podcasting things happen? How everybody can learn that.
We know we will develop them.
Yeah, if you can just put a little words on those directions, how it works, I mean, that makes a lot of difference.
I'd like to add a little bit, as Nan said, and as you said, personal growth, in terms of personal growth and becoming aware of trends and stuff on from social media, what do you think, how can we leverage that social media platform following and connections into and convert it into business? Like Muzaffar sir, I'd like to say something. I think IntelBuild crossed like 10,000 followers on LinkedIn, and I'd like to know how you can convert those connections into business, and how does it affect you as an entrepreneur, and how does it help you as a businessman?
So primarily we search designated guys on LinkedIn with the proper company portfolio and background, and then we frequently send them a messages and our project updates, and regularly we are everyone एक story आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. मतलब आई एम नॉट दैट मच फेमस, बट एक जर्मनी की कंपनी दिल्ली में आई थी, उनका कोई टेक्निकल सेमिनार था, तो वो कंपनी दिल्ली में उन्होंने उनका फोरम में सेमिनार रखा था. तो मेरा एक दोस्त है, उसका नाम भी मुजफ्फर है, तो वो वहाँ गया, तो उसमें वो एक जर्मन गाय था इंजीनियर, उसने पूछा वेरी मुजफ्फर नाकवा, तो उसने बोला हाउ यू कम टू नो अबाउट दिस? Oh, he's very famous on LinkedIn. He posts his projects and we regularly see his posts and all. तो फिर उसने मुझे मैसेज किया कि भाई यहाँ लोग तुमको पूछ रहे हैं। मैं बोला मेरे को, मैं कहाँ से, मुझे कैसे पूछेंगे। तो बोला उसको फिर ये स्टोरी बताया कि ऐसा ऐसा मामला हुआ। तो मतलब ये चीज़ें कैसी है कि जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हमको मिलेंगे, कन्वर्जन होगा, वो ऐसे ही नहीं हो जाएगा कल को फ़ोन उठा के, हमको उसके दिमाग में बैठ जाना पड़ेगा।
I think it helps. What he's trying to say is it helps create a brand. See, it might not directly, it might not be visible directly that oh, a business is coming from a post that you post on LinkedIn. But when there is awareness, there is a recall of that brand. So tomorrow, if somebody requires something, you know, oh my God, okay, fine, let me just reach out to these guys, do that. So the more you're visible, you just kind of become an aware brand. That's all. So when the time is right, when there is a requirement, you get that edge instead of being an unknown, completely unknown entity.
So I will give you a simple example. In the Facebook watch you release, I reposted. In 10 days, it has crossed around 8,000 views.
Wow.
I don't have to inform my connect what I have done.
That's what I'm saying.
maybe
Just
some
bring
of
a record. Yeah, oh, mega. Okay. Like, there's no requirement. It probably is not translated into business tomorrow. But tomorrow, when he approaches somebody, oh, okay, fine. Oh, I read this.
No, many architects came to me saying we want to partner with you.
Yeah. So,
It works like that. And इसमें अगर आप थोड़ा सा commercially सोचे ना, it is very simple to add commercial value. There are stupid people selling what not एक session बना देते
I
हैं
think we all
$10
know,
$20
we've all
के
been
सब
doing
कुछ
shopping and everything.
नहीं, not only
Whatever
that,
it is.
not only that, people are giving certified courses,
Yeah.
workshops, and charging.
Yes. No, everything. I think every
But
segment
we can
has
add, and we can add here. We can add like with the likes of what I know. इन सबको अगर हम एक ब्लॉगिंग में कन्वर्ट करें, allow engineers to showcase their thing and award them. Like we were discussing, we should felicitate people who are delivery so that वो motivation बढ़े, वो culture बढ़े, वो impact बढ़े. And revenue generation is, I think, the most easiest thing on the face of earth is making money. I am sure कि all will agree with me. Obviously, when you think it that way, तो ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं यार पैसा कमाना बड़ा difficult है. Because you're trying to earn money, you have to build. It's very simple. आपके पास digital platform है, आपको right people, right location पे आए और उसको अगर हमने सही से create किया, तो लोगों का भी भला होगा और हमारा भी confidence build होगा कि we did something and let people talk about it. उसमें अच्छा भी होगा, बुरा भी होगा. Let's amortize. मतलब everything that we are discussing, इसका nature में final क्या है? बस we Indians we shy away from it. हमको बड़ी शर्म आती है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जब हम उसको डिजिटली उस लेवल पे लेके आए हैं, make it commercial, we create wonders.
And technology is very advanced.
Exactly.
Social media is just not posting.
हाँ.
No, it is backed up by algorithm. It means somebody who has visited your site, technology has understood his preference. When he is surfing from those kind of requirement, automatically उसके पास मेगास का फोन क्या आएगा? भाई ये सब मेरे पास है. That is how it senses the requirements of people. So we are talking about IoT algorithms. So these are going to back up the social media.
And AI is a big thing that
Yeah.
should be taken.
That is the
I think social media is now going to be taken a leap ahead by the AI. So we should also be a part of it, not by just the entertainment source. Because India में हम लोग इसको entertainment के लिए use करते हैं. I mean again I am saying 6% of the face of the earth is India. तो हमको भी एक गलत चीज दी जा रही है. बाकी सारे उससे business रन है. People are doing big business on Facebook.
So I want you all to be on LinkedIn.
Yeah, let's
LinkedIn का अकाउंट बनाएं
और फॉलो करो
और
कंपनी.
Yes.
फॉलो करें. उसके अलावा अपना प्रोफाइल उसमें इंप्रूव करें. लिंक्डइन पर वीडियो प्रोफाइल्स अभी अपलोड हो रही है. मतलब फोटो का टाइम चला गया. आप लोग वीडियो प्रोफाइल डालेंगे, वहाँ पर आपकी फोटो की जगह आपकी वीडियो आएगी. एक तो वो हो गया. देन हम लोग अच्छे अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम करते हैं रेगुलरली. आप अपना काम करते हुए फोटो डालो, आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट के पोस्ट डालो वहाँ पर. इससे आपकी टेक्निकल ग्रोथ भी अच्छी होगी. आपको पता चलेगा लोग क्या कर रहे हैं. आप पोस्ट पढ़ो वहाँ पर. बड़े बड़े लोग हैं, बड़े बड़े बुक्स के ऑथर्स हैं वहाँ पर. बहुत फ़ायदा होता है.
And we can focus on it. And with the likes of Abhijit, we can guide everybody. He's obviously everybody's mentor. And Joseph, he will guide us and guide us on how to move forward and how easy it is to talk.
one more question. And we are also open to questions from the audience on the discussion going on. So if you do have something to add, please do.
Please, please.
What role does collaborative design impact in terms of growth and learning of a company? I think this question, I wanted to put it forth because we as Megas, we do a lot of collaborative projects where the design is from somebody else and we are doing the execution, or it's our design and somebody else is doing the execution. How do you think that has an impact as like an individual, people, the designers who are working on it, and as a company?
I think this part is something which
Be
is
more beneficial for the occupier.
Yeah, and for
I
the
think
person
honestly,
who is also
collaboration in all segments is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably use your social media, Instagram as an example. If you see today, there's a dress designer who's collaborating with an interior designer. Like we've seen, right? And there is this new thing that has come. So and so collaborated with so and so. So collaboration typically will make people grow together. Okay, somebody who's an individual, for example, okay, I'm Faisal is a model. Now, how will he grow? He needs to collaborate with a brand for him to come one step ahead. If we are interior designers or architects, I want to collaborate, let's say, anybody, a vendor, any product, for example, if I'm using, which is good. So, which brings both of them up. It shouldn't be like,
it lightens you a lot. Because क्या होता है कि if I am designing and he is executing, ठीक है? So I vice versa also. The one who's actually creating sometimes misses the nuances. And then there is two sides of a journey. एक तो वो जो हम sketch कर लेते हैं as architects we do, ठीक है? अरे लगेगा कैसे? How does this cantilever stand? You don't know. So when you are in a collaboration, so this guy is creating the shop drawings. So when you're doing the shop drawings, like we do a lot of collaborative work. So when you do it, you come to know what this design needs to be implemented. So that happens only in
and the collaboration will eventually benefit the end user if you ask me. Like so far, if you say what is the opposite of collaboration, which is just being on your own, right? Which is thinking that I will be able to do everything. But that's not really possible. Like, can either of us take Megas to the vision that we've created for Megas, right? This is also an internal collaboration that we're looking at. Abhijit will collaborate with the whole team. We expect the team members to collaborate with each other. So whether it is internal collaboration or external collaboration, I think for the world outside, for the end user, whoever, whatever your vision probably could be, I think it's going to be beneficial for everyone.
Collaboration, I think, basically allows.
Can Huzafa do what he thinks that he wants to do without collaborating with so many people that probably he's aspiring to collaborate with? Because we don't have everything. It's not possible that one individual, one company, however big or small, is self-sufficient and probably has everything to offer to an end user. So I think collaboration is the key. And I feel now we should go ahead and drop that. I don't know what it is that people used to have, that I will do everything and this should also be in my scope and that should also be in my scope. Even internal office politics is how politics start in offices, right? How do they start? Because, oh, I want to be a better person, I want to be in good books of my senior, I want to do this, I should get credit, I should do this. So there's a lot of I when you're doing things, and eventually, trust me, I'm telling you, nobody gains in the long run. So if you literally feel internal collaboration or external collaboration, the result is beautiful. Eventually, that's what you should aim.
So even organizations are now looking for collaborative design, So because in every organization, especially on the design part, they understood that when people work in silos, there is always a blame game. It will start pulling at like admin will say it is IT's fault, IT will say it is a business development fault. So now the organization feels that when they are having a vision or mission, they determine the project. PMO team, that is the project management office, decide a project, and every team involved in project works together for 3 months, 4 months. They collaborate, they execute the project, and what happens? It's a teamwork that achieves the result. It is not a single person. So collaboration has got a lot of power, and at the end of the day, collaboration means teamwork. When you are together, you can achieve phenomenal results. What a one person could not achieve. That is the more importance of collaboration.
So basically, when we convert the I's to V's, we can achieve much more.
Exactly. You have to make a mind.
It also gives the perspective of a different one.
If you have to lift a bucket, can you lift with the finger? You have to use your 5 fingers to lift it up. It's same fundamental. Together we can do phenomenal things. But as a person, I can do only what I can do.
And technology is sharing what is here. You pass on the technology. Certain design we were not thinking of, but in collaboration, this architect gives you that vision. Obviously, when you're doing the operation side, you put your points. But practically, you are nurturing that idea.
It should have entered.
Exactly. Like in Josepa's matter, it is a complete collaborative business only wherever we work. I mean, building Batti kaise? It's a collaboration of a lot of things coming together. That is, I think, way ahead. We should think of collaborating with a lot of different areas.
We'll take a small break and we will pray and come back then now.
Sure.
Thank you so much for the discussion. We missed out on one introduction. We'd also like to welcome the new director for Green Molds with a bouquet. Mr. Faizan Appa is now going to take over Green Molds. And I'd like to invite Ms. Gauri Kundani to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you all for your time, your patience, your presence here. I think we've heard enough of whatever we had to say. In short, I would just like to say that I'm very excited. I'm very thrilled, delighted to have our new special member in the Megas family, Dr. Abhijit Sarkar, and I'm really confident that we will take Megas to another level. I'm also hoping that we do this together as a team. I just want everyone to remember that every single member has a very crucial role to play towards our success. So it's not just about him, we want him to lead the way, and I think all of us should be with him, support him so that we get the desired success that we want. And yeah, we will overcome challenges together. Thank you.